Let's talk about the essential tools of our industry. So what I really want you to do is think, how do I capture everything that I do to further monetize? So for example, the sound I make, the image, the video that I can create, everything that you do is potential content that can be captured and released. And to do that, you can either hire somebody to do it for you and pay them, like Matthew here, or you can learn to do it yourself. For the beginning of my career, I had to learn to do it myself. So there are some essential tools that you need. You need to learn how to edit video. This is really key, whether it's on your iPhone using an app like Spark that I just learned about, or whether it's Final Cut Pro. It doesn't matter what it is, Adobe Premiere, as long as you really learn how to edit video, and you'll find gradually that vans will drive past you while you're talking about essential toolkits. You'll soon find that one editing suite is pretty much identical to another. The tools are the same. It's cut, it's paste, it's blend, it's blur, it's sharpen, it's focus, it's change the colors. But you need to learn it, because if you don't, you either don't output the video or you're paying somebody else to do it. Audio. How are you going to capture audio? Can you mic up a cab? Do you know which mic to use? SM7B for almost everything is what I use. Michael Jackson recorded all his vocals on it. That was enough for me. SM7B, learn the different miking positions. If you don't want to do that, get a set of cans and have somebody play while you move the mic around the cone and listen yourself to how it changes its tone. It's such an important thing to learn. When you can mic up a cab, it's key to learn how to capture it through a mic pre. What kind of mic pre are you going to use? Is it going to be a Scarlett? Is it going to be a Focusrite? Is it going to be, I don't know, a Universal Audio? There are so many different options for you, but really when you've learned how to use them, it becomes less important what they are and more the use of the equipment. When you've got the audio coming in, what DAW are you going to use? Maybe you're going to use Logic, maybe it's Pro Tools, maybe it's Reaper. You know what, it doesn't really matter as long as you focus and you learn the fundamentals of recording your own audio output and then how to manipulate it, compression. You don't need to be a world-class recording engineer, but you do need to know how to capture your output. So you've captured the video, you've captured the audio, but you need to share it. Social media. This is going to sound so obvious to so many of you, but genuinely learn to use social media and be open-minded about change. The platform that you use now may not last forever. It may die, it may close, it may become something else, it may acquire something else. So you need an open mind about change. For example, I started out on MySpace and then that ended and became Facebook and YouTube, and I guarantee you that will end and become Spotify and something else. There is a continual change. Always think, is this social media platform good for my industry? Is this something that I think I can express my creativity through it? Learn about it before you discount it. Really important. And then teach the robot who you are, what you are, when you are. Learn to educate the algorithm. Always upload the same day, the same time. Make your content real, make it relatable, and you will dominate social media. And then the last thing, and this is absolutely key because so many musicians don't do this, learn to drive. Like this guy. Let's make some money. Let's talk about spondylics. I think it's important to do that. After all, if you want a career as a musician, this is something that is fundamental to you. And it is not a bad thing to make money as a musician. Whatever you do, please don't start thinking, oh, I have to do things for free, and oh, I shouldn't ask for money for something because music is this magical, fairy-like craft, and eventually I'll get signed and I'll make £1 million. It isn't going to work that way. Let me tell you how I worked step by step to get to the position that I'm in now. I started off teaching guitar, £5 an hour in London, and I could play. I knew the majority of my theory, but I wasn't really an amazing player by any stretch of the imagination, and I didn't know all of the theory at all. But I knew that I was really enthusiastic and I knew that I could play. And so I charged £5 an hour and I would teach for half an hour. And then I thought, I'm not making a lot of money. And I really don't want to keep working in the opticians that I was selling glasses at. How can I make more money from the students and not rip them off, give them something that they need? And I realized that very few of these students knew how to string a guitar. They didn't know how to do it. And not even that, they didn't want to do it. They would turn up with rusted strings or a string broken, and they'd expect me to do it for them. So I went to the local guitar shop, bought a buttload of strings on the cheap, and I offered restrings. And I would sit there, restring a guitar, charge them for the strings, and charge them a little bit for the time, so maybe £2 or £3. And now I'm making £8 for sort of 45 minutes to 50 minutes. And then sometimes I would offer a setup. So do you know how to change the intonation, the action, the neck angle? Is the wiring okay? Does it need a tweak? Does it feel right? And the students often weren't even interested in learning that part of the guitar, which I think is crucial. If you don't know how to set up a guitar, learn how to do it. After all, you wouldn't learn to drive a car and not learn where to put the petrol and how to change a tyre. So I would offer restrings and then a setup, and a setup was a £5. And so I had these bolt-on options for the students to enable me to earn more money, but to give them a service that they really wanted. Jump forward a couple of years, I was charging more for the lessons, keeping the setups and restringing as well, and I was making sort of £20 to £30 an hour. And eventually I was fully booked with students, couldn't, teach any more students than I had, and I thought, I'm stuck. I don't know what to do. It was a difficult situation. And what I really wanted was somebody to give me this knowledge, okay? Please remember this. There is this hypothetical concept of mankind and its various stages. Stage 1 is harvesting energy from the planet, burning fossil fuels, getting as much energy as you can. Stage 2 is harvesting energy from the sun. At stage 3, harvesting energy from the universe. Relate that concept to a musician. Stage 1 is selling your time. Your time is finite. Selling your time is the first step. It is the easiest thing to do, but it has a limitation. You have only so much time. So once you have run out of time, you need to put your money up. Some will drop off and you'll have more time back. Then you need to offer services for more money. So for example, contact every studio within 20-30 mile radius and let's ask them if they need someone to do session work. Do they need somebody to come in and just play some chords, some funk, some jazz, whatever it is? More often than not, session work is rhythm. Do you need to jump in a pit and do some work for an orchestra? Is there a local radio company? Do they want adverts written for them? All these little kinds of ideas. You might get one of these jobs a year, 2 of these jobs a year if you are lucky. Session work is few and far between, and there are an elite few musicians who do, I know most of them, and they do all of the session work. But there are dribs and drabs you can pick up here and that will help give you a bit of extra income. Lots of eggs, lots of baskets. I soon discovered there were lots of brands, guitar brands, amp brands, pedal brands, string brands. They want to sell a product, and they wanted musicians to help them sell a product through placement, through small retainers, through payment for demonstration, or reviews. Review, demonstration, difficult one. You're going to have to work and navigate that path because, of course, a review should be your own opinion. A demonstration is the opinion of the brand. But these things are all chargeable. So maybe Ibanez would send me a pedal and I would say, okay, I'll charge £200. I'll film a demonstration of the pedal and I'll put it on my YouTube channel and I made a little bit of money. And when you get full up, you put your money up. That's the secret. Never stay where you are. If you stay where you are, you run out of time, you'll always have the same income. And then gradually I migrated from demonstration of product, into pushing my social media platforms into a position where they would finance me through AdSense. Making lots of YouTube videos. Each video is like a little net, a bit of a net that grabs a viewer, brings them in. Many of you will have found me through YouTube. And each of these tiny videos might make me 50p a month. But if you have 2,000 to 3,000 videos, it adds up and it becomes a sizable chunk of money that will help you. Learn what your skill set is. If you learn what your skill set is, you can monetize it. For example, are you really good at miking up? Are you really good at recording audio? Does somebody else need someone that can do that? Because it's a skill that you can sell. There's also this concept that people that teach can't do. That's just not true. That is, if anything, just rude to teachers. There are plenty of teachers who have careers releasing music and charting and touring and all these things. And then they come back and they teach a bit. Some of my greatest guitar heroes still teach every so often. There's nothing wrong with it, as long as you're charging enough that it feels fair to you and the student's getting a good deal. So start small chunks of money, grow it incrementally, learn your skill set, monetize that. Do everything that you can to earn income. Teach, session, contact all the studios, talk to students and see if they need other skills. Talk to local bands or local rehearsal rooms and ask, do you want me to record your session? Is your band going in to work on some material? I could mic up for you and capture the session for you. Do you need me to film? I can film and edit. Everything that you can do is a monetizable asset. The other thing, when you create content can be reharvested. So for example, this video, I could transcribe it and turn it into an audiobook. I could transcribe it and turn it into a physical book. I could chop it into bits and sell them on a subscription basis. I could sell it as one great big block. Things can be rejigged and turned into different kinds of product, and different kinds of people like different kinds of product. So it's important to sell your assets, your skills and your product lots of different ways to earn money from the different kinds of demographic that watch you. Ultimately, the best way of making money is to grow a brand. The stronger you grow your brand, the better and easier it is to monetize your brand. For example, Coca-Cola can make a t-shirt, somebody will buy the t-shirt purely because it says Coca-Cola, because it has a brand. If you can brand yourself and what you do, then you have a thing that can be monetized. If I said, hey, welcome to Lizard Studio, and I start making videos about Lizard Studio, got this reptile tone, suddenly I can make a Lizard Studio t-shirt, I can make a Lizard Studio coffee, I can monetize the brand Lizard Studio, which has come up to me, in lots of different ways. Brand. Use all these things, any means necessary, where you feel positive about what you are doing and you feel like the customer is getting value for money and they're buying something that they want. When you do those things, it'll all synchronize, you'll be successful. Good luck.